Hello, everybody. My name is Bill D'Amico, and I'm responsible for HCM partnerships at Talemetry. I am going to start sharing my screen here, and I'm going to ask my cohorts that are on the organizer side if they can see the screen. Can somebody confirm that?
Yep.
Great, thank you. So again, my name is Bill D'Amico, and I'm responsible for HCM partnerships at Talemetry. We'll go through formal introductions in a moment, but let me start by saying thank you to Oracle for allowing us this opportunity, and thanks to all of you for taking the time to attend our session today. We sincerely appreciate the chance to present our complementary PeopleSoft solutions and demonstrate how we can expand upon the rich functionality you already have with PeopleSoft's talent acquisition tools. So our goal for today is very simple. We just want to show you how you can maximize your investment in PeopleSoft with our recruitment marketing solutions. And we got a lot to show you, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's the agenda we'll be following today. We'll start with introductions. Then Tammy Boyles from Oracle's PeopleSoft HCM strategy team will present the latest PeopleSoft roadmap highlights. After that, we'll spend a few moments talking about our partnership with Oracle before launching into the meat of the session, which is how our complementary solution will work alongside PeopleSoft. We also have a few case studies to highlight for you. For time purposes, we're going to provide a high-level product demonstration, but if anybody would like a more detailed demo of our solutions, please just email me afterwards and we'll be happy to set up something more focused and specific to your needs. If you have any questions as we go through today's session, we'd just like you to enter those questions into the chat window question box, and we'll monitor them as we go so we can answer them in each section. Also, we've left some time, hopefully at the end, for any additional questions or comments you may have. And finally, we're going to be sending a copy of this presentation out afterwards, so don't worry if you feel like you've missed something. So let's get started. First, as I mentioned, we have Tammy from Oracle. Tammy, you want to say a quick hello?
Hello.
Great, thanks. And from Talemetry, we've got the following people on the call. I'll have each of us just introduce themselves briefly in their role at Talemetry, starting with Carrie.
Hi, I'm Carrie Officer. I'm VP of Technical Services and ATS Integrations at Talemetry.
Great. Stephen?
Hi, I'm Stephen Schwander, and I lead up the customer solutions team. So we support our account managers and our sales guys and our customers to understand the solution and how best to use it in the business environment.
Great. And Ian?
Yeah, Ian Alexander, and I head up marketing. Good morning, good afternoon.
Great. And Susanna?
Good afternoon and good morning. I'm Susanna Gilbert, and I'm the marketing manager here at Talemetry.
Great. And finally, Peter.
Hi, everybody. Peter Clare, General Manager of all business operations.
Great. Fantastic. So now what I'm going to do is pass control over to Tammy for the PeopleSoft roadmap update. So just give me a second here so I can make Tammy the presenter. Okay, Tammy, you should be able to share your screen now.
And take myself off of mute. That'll help. Can you all see my screen?
Not yet. Just give us a moment here. Did you? It still just says presenter. There it is. Perfect. Now we've got it.
All right. Thanks, Bill, and thanks everyone for joining us. I see that we have some of our focus group members on the call, so glad to see you out there as well. As Bill said, I'm Tammy Boyles, and I'm the Product Management Director, or better known as the Strategist for Recruiting Solutions. And want to talk to you a little bit about what we're going to be doing in the roadmap. Of course, I have to do the safe harbor statement. And as you all know, anything that we talk about today remains at the sole discretion of Oracle as to when it's released and how it's released. I did want to just really quickly touch on 2 points to make sure that if there's anyone that's not very familiar with Recruiting Solutions 9.2, there are 2 key areas, and one is the Candidate Gateway, which is all about the candidates, and the other piece is the Talent Acquisition Manager, or TAM for short, and it's for the managers and recruiters. So just want to make sure people remember there's 2 different areas of recruiting. Well, let's talk about the roadmap now, because I know that's what you want to hear from me. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone understands that there is still a very strong commitment to PeopleSoft and to recruiting solutions. Back in January, the Oracle Lifetime Support document was updated, and it was moved from the support being through at least December of 2021 to 2027. So I hope that really shows you the commitment that PeopleSoft is here. It's here to stay. There's a lot of investment going on in it, a lot of resources being poured into recruiting solutions, and we're not going anywhere. We're here. So you don't have to move to another product. You don't have to move to a cloud solution. You can stay just with PeopleSoft recruiting solutions. So let's look at that investment that we're looking at doing. The first thing we have is the view print enhancement, and this is coming out in calendar year 2016. You know, with Oracle, I cannot give you any specific dates, but if it says calendar year 2016, you can bet that it won't be very long because we are in 16 now. This is a view print enhancement. It gives you the ability to create a PDF online, or you can create multiple PDFs for applicants and applications via a print process. You also have the ability to choose the data that you want to view and print. So you can see here, you can actually click and choose which pieces you want of the application. So maybe you only want the work experience and the education level. You don't really care about any of the other pieces. Maybe you only want the attachment information. You can click on the resume or the cover letter or any preferences, letters and personal references that are there. And you'll be able to create all of that online for a single applicant or a batch job. Now, this does require PeopleTools 8.55, and so some other things I'll be showing you requires 8.55. So you need to be thinking about your roadmap to get yourself to PeopleTools 8.55 as well. This is one of the customizations, or enhancements that customers have been asking for us to do for a long time, so we're really glad to have that, and it's coming soon. A couple other little quick enhancements that we have is merge applicant data. I don't know how many people actually have been using this in the past, but this is for the manual merge. It actually will give you additional information about the contact information so that you know that when you're merging two applicants into one, that you actually probably have the right person. It keeps you from having to flip back and forth between pages. Another enhancement that we've been asked for a long time, and I was one of the folks who asked for this when I was a customer as well, was to disallow multiple applications for the same job opening. I probably heard a hooray out there, but since you're all on mute, I don't know. But things like if an employee has already submitted an application, then it would give you the ability to give them this message that says they've already submitted. They need to go to their My Activities to see the application there. If they have a previously saved but not submitted application, it will also tell them that, and they will be able to go to the My Activities to return to their application. Now, an applicant, if you use the withdrawal process, would be able to actually withdraw from the job and then reapply. And then also, if your recruiters actually link an applicant to a job and there were pre-qualifying questions or questionnaires out there that they need to answer, they'd be able to apply again. But that puts that responsibility on your recruiter in determining if they want multiple people applying for the job. Recruitment diversity analytics is another piece that we're looking at bringing out to you within the next 18 to 24 months. We really have a focus on more analytics. There's some pivot grids already on your recruiting homepage, but this would be some additional ones. This would be delivered to you for the recruiting administrator. Because of the sensitivity and the confidentiality of this information, we would be only attaching it to that role. Of course, you all can make changes to those roles as you need it. But the first one is for, we're looking at is for the information for diversity based on job opening, and that would give you the ability to gather gender and race and veterans and disability all in one place. I know a lot of you already have your own queries written, but you normally have a query for gender, and there's a query for race, and there's one for veterans and one for disability, and then you have to take all of that and merge it all together. Well, this would give you a snapshot so you can see it right there, real time, as to what you have, and it would be by job opening, looking at also doing it by job family, and then also by job code. Give you a lot of flexibility to look at that diversity, whether it's for an EEO complaint that you may have had, or whether it's for some kind of affirmative action that you're doing. You'll be able to see that information all in one spot. Another analytics that we're looking at doing is for comparisons. So in this case, I show a comparison of veterans. So maybe you have a new program that you've started in recruitment, and you really want to make sure that you're reaching that audience. This would give you the ability to compare how many veterans did you have apply last year compared to this year, so that you can see that that program is really working and that outreach is really getting to the people that you need. Also, integration with LinkedIn. You can see at the top it says plan for ? And I know this one has been around for a very long time, but there has actually been movement on this one, and I'm very excited to say about that. And it is still within Oracle Legal and LinkedIn Legal to actually come up with a contract. And so I'm very hopeful that that contract will come through and that we'll be able to start on this. And this would then allow your candidates to upload their profiles directly into their application. So really excited about this one. I think this is very necessary for our mobile candidate strategy. Another one that I hear a lot is ability to configure and control the access to applicant data down to the applicant level. Many of you have said in the past that your hiring manager should not be able to see all the applicant information. Currently, if a hiring manager is tied to a job opening, they can click into the applicant, they can then drill down into the applicant, and they can see that that applicant's applied for 25 jobs and they've been denied or been rejected for 24 of them. And so, you know, hiring managers go, well, why would I want to hire that person if no one else wants to hire that person? So it takes away that information about what other positions they've applied for. So this is one that I'm very excited to be involved in, because I know this is one as a customer was an issue for us. All right, it's the year of the mobile. We'll kind of let you just see that. We know that people want to apply for their jobs on the mobile. They want to be able to search for jobs on a mobile phone or a tablet. And so Fluid Candidate Gateway is coming. It's coming in calendar year 2016 again. This gives you a little idea of what it's going to look like. Actually, at the Alliance Conference we just had a couple of weeks ago, I did a demo for them. They were very excited when I took my tablet and I would turn it up one way and the screen would render differently, and then if I laid it horizontal, it would render back. And that's the whole idea behind Fluid. It doesn't matter what kind of device you use. It doesn't matter if it's an Android or if it's a Apple, or, you know, name your favorite mobile device. It will work either way. It also works on laptops. It also works on desktops. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do any additional configuration for this. So this is coming, and again, in 2016 calendar year. It will be delivered in 3 phases. The first phase will give you the majority of the functionality you know today, except for refer a friend and federal preferences. Those will come in the next release. And then we will continue to release different pieces of this as we go through. Real quickly, there's an ideas. It's new on MOS, my Oracle support. If you have any ideas that you'd like to place there, please go out there. I have actually preceded it with about 5 different ideas. People need to vote on these. Put your ideas out. Get other people to vote for your ideas. This helps us with our roadmap and helps you to drive that roadmap. And then last but not least, www.peoplesoftinfo.com, your place to go for everything you need to know about PeopleSoft. Cumulative feature overviews, what's planned, the PeopleSoft portal, video feature overviews. Go here if you have anything you need to learn about PeopleSoft. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Bill.
All right. Thank you, Tammy. We appreciate that very much. I do apologize. It seems we are having a slight lag in the screen changing, so we'll try and monitor that closely as we go through the rest of the presentation. I haven't seen any questions yet for Tammy, so we're going to continue on now. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here. And hopefully now everybody can see my screen again.
Yep, you're
okay.
good.
Excellent. So Talemetry has been an Oracle Gold partner since 2007, and we have over 100 joint PeopleSoft customers, just a few of which are mentioned here. We actually have approved integrations with all of Oracle's applicant tracking systems, but by far away our largest concentration of joint customers is with PeopleSoft. So we were founded in 1999, and we're now in our 17th year of existence. Here are a few just key statistics and volume metrics about our customer base and the amount of transactions and activity we currently handle on an ongoing basis. So as you can see, we're closing in on 500 clients. We have over 1 million active jobs currently under management, and in the last 12 months, we have helped our clients process approximately 30 million candidates. Talemetry is a complete platform of modular solutions across 4 specific areas of expertise. We've got job broadcast, which is simply the ability to get the word out in the most efficient and effective way to as many potential and qualified candidates as possible. We have Sourcing and CRM, which is the mining of candidates out in the incredibly vast and disparate talent marketplaces that exist today. We have career site development and management, which helps with the candidate attraction process and user experience. And finally, an apply process that provides for an extremely efficient and effective user experience. So hopefully everybody can see this slide. It says where Talemetry fits with PeopleSoft, and where we are, it's just a graphic representation of how we complement PeopleSoft. Oops, excuse me. So we're here in the upper left-hand corner, and we're singularly focused on finding more and better candidates to feed into the PeopleSoft system, period. We don't have an ATS. We don't have any downstream talent management or learning or any core HR solutions. We're just simply focused on one thing, which is finding and attracting the most qualified candidates to feed into PeopleSoft. That's our sole purpose, to be the best in this recruitment marketing area. Okay. What I'd like to do now is turn it over to Ian, who's going to talk more specifically about how we extend your PeopleSoft capabilities. So hopefully everybody can see this.
Yeah, we can see it, and thanks, Bill. Sorry to step on you there. Yeah, so as you explode that upper left-hand corner recruitment marketing box, you can see sort of all the areas that Bill talked about, everything from candidate experience, giving you a platform for hosting career sites, job distribution, sourcing, candidate relationship management, talent networks, and a number of different apply resume options that I'll talk about a little bit later. And what we do is we share jobs and candidates with PeopleSoft to allow you to use the Talemetry tech platform to fire all those recruitment marketing activities. So if you can go to the next slide, Bill. All right, so we kind of bucket those into 3 different buckets. One is candidate attraction, one is that sourcing and engagement piece, and the other one is candidate experience. So as Bill said, candidate attraction is about us helping you to push your jobs out to job boards, social networks, pay-per-click, advertising vehicles, etc., and giving you all the analytics to track behind that. Our sourcing and engagement tools allow you, again, to consolidate all your sources for talent, whether those are internal, being employees and past applicants within your PeopleSoft system, all the way through to external sources of talent, which would be resume databases, etc. Put them all into one place for you to source one time, search, and then be able to reach out and engage with those candidates. So really going out and getting the candidates that you want from a centralized system. And then finally, candidate experience, which covers everything from multiple targeted career sites through our platform that are easy to maintain, as well as a number of different apply options, which we're going to go a little bit deeper here on the next slide and kind of dig into exactly how those work. Actually, before I get to that, I just want to say, as you can see, no, you're good on the slide, Bill. As you can see, we are a platform, and we cover everything from across the recruitment marketing spectrum. But we also will engage with you on a modular basis. So if there's one particular area of need, it's easy to start with one module or two modules and then expand out from there. Everything is integrated horizontally across the telemetry platform, but you can plug these in individually as well. So the next slide is where we'll go into some more detail on how we work with PeopleSoft from a candidate attraction standpoint. So from a candidate attraction standpoint, we synchronize job requisitions from PeopleSoft. So they exist in both systems and are maintained in both systems and synchronized. And once you have them in the telemetry system, you can do a couple of different things with them. First, you can auto post them. And what that is you have the ability to set up business rules that will automatically post jobs to the appropriate boards based on these rules. So a use case would be, let's say you want to have every job go out to all the free boards, right? It's free candidates. You can evaluate how well they do. That's very easy to set up business rules so that once you open a requisition in PeopleSoft, telemetry automatically sends out to Indeed, Simply Hired, etc., and you get that coverage immediately. Nobody has to do anything. A similar use case would be diversity. You could auto post all your jobs to diversity boards to cover your OFCCP posting requirement. Again, very easy to do. But as you start to use the telemetry distribution tool and you start to see what job boards are most effective for you with particular job families, for example, you can get more sophisticated with this auto posting, and you can start to say, well, every time we open up an engineering position, we want that to obviously go to diversity and free boards, but we also want those to go to DICE, for example, or Stack Overflow, et cetera. Jobs boards that are working for you. You can have those. So again, once it's opened up in PeopleSoft, auto posted, nobody has to do anything, centralizes that function. By the same token, individual recruiters can post in the same way that they would in a normal job distribution system. They pick a job, select the job boards and the social networks that they want to distribute that job to, and then click through and it posts out to those particular outlets. Of course, we keep track of all your contracts and your inventory, so everything is managed centrally and nobody's going to overspend, etc. Everything that goes out and is distributed is coded, so it has a URL that's coded. So as it goes out to a job board or a social network and it comes back into PeopleSoft through an application, we track that all the way through, so we know who gets to the apply stage, who gets to the interview stage, and who gets hired. So it's a nice closed loop for tracking the effectiveness of all your attraction efforts. And if we can go to the next slide here, Bill. Similarly, with our sourcing and CRM functionality, and by CRM I mean candidate relationship management, we not only sync the jobs, but we sync all your past applicants from PeopleSoft into telemetry and maintain that sync. So you have access from within telemetry to all those past PeopleSoft applicants, along with their qualification data, et cetera. We also plug into any external sources of talent you may have. That could be an Indeed resume database. It could be a Career Builder resume database. It could be the open web. We maintain all those synchronizations. If you have a talent network, that works within our CRM system, as well as any CSV files that you have that you might want to upload. You want to gather emails that are sitting in recruiters' email boxes, and you can centralize all that. So again, one source of talent, and I'm sure Stephen will show our search capability, but very intuitive search. You can hone in from a skill standpoint, location standpoint, experience standpoint on the kind of candidates that you want, and rank them. And once you've done your search, it's very easy to do a number of things with it. You can attach it to an existing job, right? So you can pipeline it against a job that you have open in PeopleSoft, or you can pipeline it against jobs that you don't have open right now, but it allows you to proactively organize this talent pool into different job families, so you can start to see how many people within your talent pool you have that support your future hiring needs. Likewise, it's very easy to also then send an email out to those people from your search results, and whether it's on a mass basis, to send out a mass invite to apply back into PeopleSoft, or you can interact with them on a one-to-one basis, and Talemetry tracks all that interaction from all your recruiters, so you can see each candidate, what's been done with them. You can even add tags to those candidates. You can create stages. So same way you have applicant tracking stages, you have pre-applicant tracking stages where you're tracking people as they move through your talent pool, and they're dispositioned in any number of different ways, from invited to apply all the way to applied, etc. And again, you can report on all these activities so you know exactly which activities are resulting in applications, which activities are resulting in hires, etc. So next, Bill. And then from a candidate experience standpoint, again, we synchronize those jobs with the telemetry platform. And once they're in telemetry, they are posted to the telemetry career site that you're hosting. They become instantly indexable by search engines and job crawlers, as well as they're automatically search engine optimized. So they're optimized to show up within those, within Google, etc. We also index them to populate a very powerful front-end search for your candidates. So as candidates are going through your career site, they have a very modern consumer-type search experience that features things like type ahead. So if you type marketing, it'll say marketing intern, marketing director, all the different marketing jobs you have. We have proximity, we have maps. It's a very, very rich experience. It gets candidates to the jobs that they're looking for very quickly. And then in addition to that front-end search, the telemetry platform allows you to be very flexible and targeted with your career site. So you can have a global career site and then multiple sub-sites within that. So a lot of our clients will create career pathways. So if you have key job families, you can move them through the career site to a specific landing page that's really relevant to their profession, their interests, allows you to showcase different departments within your organization to them. And of course, the relevant jobs are there as well. And telemetry handles all that. Once you open up a job rec, it will put it on the main career site as well as any sub-sites that you have set up automatically. When it comes to applications, we can support PeopleSoft in a number of different ways. One is you can maintain your PeopleSoft candidate gateway application process, and you can integrate our social apply process into that. So what that means is it basically gives you the ability to add resume upload and parsing to fill out the form, as well as social profile parsing to fill out the form as well. So people can use their LinkedIn or Indeed profile to apply right away. And we also give access to cloud resume sources for those mobile applicants. So if you have your resume on Dropbox or Google, and grab it through the telemetry social apply, and they can parse it into the application, the PeopleSoft application. Another option that's just fairly new for us, we're just coming out with now, is Apply Express, where we can put a button right next to your PeopleSoft registration for your PeopleSoft application that is Express Apply, which allows people to quickly upload their resume or grab their LinkedIn profile, get it into your system, right? Parses it, gets it into your system, and then sends an email out with the full application. So whether that person goes through the entire application process or comes back to it later, you've got their candidate information. So that sort of ups your engagement, allows you to engage with candidates who may have otherwise maybe not applied. And again, gives a great way for mobile applicants to quickly kind of throw their information up there, and you can incent them to fill out the application later. And finally, we can bypass the entire PeopleSoft application process with the Taleo application workflow. And what that allows you to do is customize your applications to a great degree, create multiple applications for different candidate groups, if that's what you want to do. And of course, it's completely mobile optimized. So it has the social apply options, the resume upload, as well as it renders very nicely in a mobile phone. And everything gets pushed from Telemetry back into PeopleSoft. All the candidate data applies just like they would have come through the PeopleSoft apply process. Bill? So what does that mean for you? Just to kind of boil it down, higher candidate conversion rates. You can imagine if you've got more engaging career sites, more targeted career sites, really much easier process to apply, you're going to increase your conversion rate of visitor to candidate, and if you've, or to applicant, I should say. And if you've got a 1%, nice. If you've got a 1% application rate right now from visitor to applicant, and that turns into a 2% or a 3%, you've just doubled or tripled the number of applicants you're getting per job. So it's a huge value. Faster time to hire and quality of hire. As you centralize all your sources of talent and you're more proactively going out and finding the talent that you want, you're able to access talent much more quickly. You don't have to wait for job ads to go out, to wait for candidates to come in. You're going out and getting candidates, but you're getting the candidates that are extremely relevant to your job. And you're not having to deal with some of the job ad kinds of situations where you're getting a lot of unqualified candidates. And because we can integrate with a lot of fields within PeopleSoft, you can also target by stage or disposition within PeopleSoft. So it's a great way to kind of target silver medalists or people who maybe didn't quite make it to be hired, but maybe came in second or third. They were good candidates, but they just didn't make it for that job. You can hone in on them with the telemetry system. And then finally, optimizing candidate attraction as you're distributing jobs through job boards and seeing which ones are performing the best. It allows you to kind of remix your budget, make it more efficient, save money, or simply get more candidates by optimizing that job ad spend and pushing it towards your most successful channels. And really finally, providing a single platform for all your recruiters to use, standardize on for those pre-applicant recruitment marketing processes is value in a couple of ways. It gets everybody on a common process for attracting and sourcing candidates. But once they're on that common process, you're able to see which channels are the most effective and optimize your channels. But you can also see which recruiters are most effective and which kinds of activities each one is doing. And the ones that are most effective, you can then develop best practices within your organization and train to those best practices just by seeing who's most successful with which kinds of activities. So it's really kind of the keys to the kingdom when it comes to optimizing your entire recruitment marketing operations and that pre-applicant talent acquisition function. So with that, I'm going to give it over to Peter Clare to talk a little bit about our clients.
Great. Hi, everybody.
Hey, real quick, Peter, before you start, I just wanted to make note, if anybody does have any questions, just type them into the chat window. We'll be happy to answer them as we go. Sorry. Go ahead, Peter.
Great. Thanks, Bill. So I wanted to just quickly give a few examples of, in the wild, how this software gets used for what purpose. Ian walked us through a whole bunch of different ways that companies can use the solution, and I think we've summarized here in each of the categories an example. So from a candidate sourcing and CRM perspective, a company like Navigant Consulting was really interested in improving their time to hire, and what they were able to do is basically consolidate all of their different sources of resumes into one talent pool, where they literally grew the size of that pool by 100% in the first year by getting everybody on the same page with putting it in a repository. Begin sending out targeted emails for people on roles, where they were getting a 40% click rate on those email campaigns with targeted messaging that allowed them to, instead of waiting for somebody to go look at a job board and see a job posting and apply for it, instead get right on their mobile device via an email. And with that, we're able to move a sort of candidate presentation / validation to way earlier in the process, where they were able to send to hiring managers, here's the type of people we're looking at, is that right? Which allowed them to focus and significantly improve their time to hire through their TAM system. In case of Verizon, they had 6 different systems with millions of resumes in each of them, and they were able to consolidate all of those profiles into a single database continue to grow that database from all of their third-party sources like Monster, CareerBuilder, and others, and then build workflows and automated communications to keep those people engaged on an ongoing basis and drive to a faster time to hire using that Source and CRM solution. When we think about the job marketing side, this is an area where in the old days it was a very targeted sort of recruiter activity where it was push to post an individual job. With RBS, they literally automated posting out to hundreds of different job boards. They did that by creating, using our tool, 40 segmented lists that are fully integrated and synchronized with PeopleSoft on an ongoing basis so that they don't have things like broken links and stale job postings out on the web and things like that. And they were able to then make sure that there was metrics tracking against every single one of those hundreds of different job boards so that they could measure the results. After measuring the results, they realized where the job postings were coming from, or the job applicants that were successful were coming from, were able to significantly reduce their overall media spend on the platform. I think the case of Weatherford, they're driving 30% of their applicant traffic all from the global 15 destinations that they post to. They put that into a tight managed process where previously recruiters were kind of just going and posting wherever they wanted to and expensing them through credit cards. So the end-to-end analytics were showing them not only what was working, but exactly where the money was going. When we think about the case of the candidate experience, there's a couple different ways we can work. So our career sites and candidate experience solutions allow you to work with an existing CMS system or standalone. We've got two different examples here where the key thing is how do you get the most out of the job content that you have. Particularly large organizations with thousands of jobs have the opportunity to bypass advertising spend by just having really effectively search engine optimized sites, which our system does on an automated basis, as well as then making sure that you've got all of the things that are required in a mobile first world that we live in now. So a couple of sites you can check out there that are fully mobily optimized, search engine optimized, and driving an incredible candidate experience with what I think everybody understands and knows the career site to be in all cases the #1 driver of quality applicants. Some additional benefits that we've seen come from deploying our system, either when you're coming into a PeopleSoft environment or transitioning even between PeopleSoft environments. We see a lot of companies taking their existing recruitment base, consolidating on the telemetry platform for the sourcing activities and the advertising and the career sites to provide a level of stability to the face of the company while they switch out the back-end operations. And as we've seen here on the screen, we've seen that happen in transitions from older versions to PeopleSoft to newer ones. We've also seen this type of transition happen when coming from a non-Oracle ATS into PeopleSoft. And we have a lot of experience with managing those transitions and thinking through and supporting the processes of making sure that the job postings all link to the right place on day one. How do you drain the positions out of older ATSs and things like that, which we'd love to talk to people about. So those are just a couple of quick examples of how we've helped customers, and obviously we'd be happy to talk to anybody who has further questions post the webinar. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Peter. All right, just on this slide real quickly, I want to touch on one key point. On the left-hand side, you see a lot of different and disparate services and tools that are used by companies to generate more highly qualified candidates. However, without a platform that unifies these point solution approaches, companies are never able to fully provide the type of solution that's efficient, easy to use, and creates that wonderful user experience. And just as important, they're never able to effectively manage their recruitment marketing spend, which is oftentimes order of magnitudes higher than their ATS spend. So we are effectively the glue when we work with our integration with PeopleSoft that sits in the middle that brings all these different approaches together cohesively into that one unified platform with PeopleSoft. And then lastly, before we jump into the quick demo, I just wanted to turn it over to Carrie to take us through how our integration works seamlessly with PeopleSoft.
Great, thanks, Bill. Just really quickly, just to touch on a couple of key points. Again, Ian mentioned that the goal is to drive the candidates and qualified candidates, rightly so, into the apply process and into PeopleSoft. So with doing that, the integration is the key. The automation and keep making sure that the data exchanges. So as you know, that's driven a lot off of the jobs and candidates. So this is an example of jobs coming into PeopleSoft are driving this business functions and candidates as well. Enables you to be able to source candidates and get those candidates converted from just a career site and peruser. Next slide. One of the things that we have with our integration, we deliver a turnkey bidirectional integration. We build it, we help you install it, we can drop it in one business day, we maintain it. You upgrade from PeopleSoft 9.1 to 9.2, we give you a new integration that works with 9.2, fully supportable. It uses all of the standard PeopleSoft APIs and integration tools, and then you can get access to all of the telemetry recruitment features. It is one product. So this is where we set ourselves aside. We don't drop APIs to you and expect your IT and HR groups to have to invest in the knowledge and the expense to do that. We've done that for you. Next slide. This is just a little bit more detail that you can have. Our integration, again, is built, we did not go and build something new. We are using, the best of breed with PeopleSoft and their integration gateway, the integration broker, all of their standard HR XML SOAP messaging, as well as all of their candidate processing of data. So customers who actually have custom configurations or even customizations, it all works very easily with that because it's actually using the PeopleSoft data models and objects to manage the information. Okay, that's it.
Thanks, Carrie. All right, we're going to jump into the solution demonstration now. I'm going to change the presentation over to Stephen. Stephen, it's all yours.
Okay, great. Hopefully my screen is being shared.
Yep.
Bill? Okay, excellent, good. So I'm going to do about a 90-minute demo in about 9 minutes. So hopefully you'll be able to track to some of the things that might be interesting for you, and we can connect a little bit later. What I wanted to do was just show you, what the tool looks like. So what is telemetry? We've been talking about it a lot. So I've dialed into a dashboard, a typical dashboard for a typical recruiter. And as you can see, I can see all of the jobs that I'm working on as a recruiter. And not only can I see those jobs, but I can actually see what type of activity there is on the interaction side, right? So these jobs have been, perhaps they were automatically posted out because in most cases our recruiters don't have to touch it. It just, as soon as it's opened in PeopleSoft, it gets automatically delivered out into the job board and advertising areas. And so this is all automated, so I can see how many jobs have been viewed, how many times have been viewed. I can even see how many people were hired because of that activity. I can then come down here and check on my pipeline. I can see how many people I actually have in my CRM pipeline versus how many people have applied versus how many people are actually applicants sitting in PeopleSoft because of the really tight data integration from a jobs and a candidate perspective. We're able to give this kind of view to the recruiter. So that's just a really quick, we could show you the company dashboard, etc., but we don't have time for that today. I do want to stress, again, the beauty of just the analytics that we're able to capture from an attraction and a sourcing capability. So this is a good example of what a source to hire report might look like, and this is demo data, so it doesn't make a total lot of sense, but you can see the channels. Our goal from an attraction and sourcing perspective is to help you open up all channels to market and then be able to view those reports in one place, that you don't have to go to an ATS for half of the report and to 2 or 3 other vendors for the other the rest of the report, but you can actually see everything right here. So you can notice here from a job board report, it shows how many jobs were viewed across how many sources, right down to how many people started an application process, how many people completed that process, right down to the individual job board. So we can dig down into the individual job board and see that very clearly. Just quickly highlighting the rest of the channels, we can track how many people you send invites to apply to. We'll show you what that looks like. We can show you, if you're sharing your jobs out in social sites, how many people are coming in and applying and being hired from that perspective. We've got a very light agency portal that helps you track, send jobs to preferred agencies, track the hires that are coming back through those agencies. And then we track some other things as well, which I'll skip through, but we can then also, under events, track things like referrals, campus recruiting, military hires. A lot of our clients even want to turn on an internal career site so they've got the same kind of experience for their candidates on the inside as they have on the outside, and if they do that, then we'll track that here as well. So I just wanted to share this page as a way to really highlight job distribution, advertising, and general candidate attraction, and the ability to track and analyze across all of that. But one of the other themes that we've heard so far has been around candidate experience. And so if the need arises for you to have, if I could possibly get rid of go to here, okay, if the need arises for you to have a candidate experience outside of the typical that you might get with the candidate gateway, then we also offer a career site content management system. Peter had mentioned this earlier, and I'm just showing you an example of what this might look like in a very light demo site. And as you can see, it's all responsive design. I can search for my jobs here. It's all fully branded. Everything that you would expect in a contemporary career site is here, including really strong SEO capability. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the screen because I think it's a better way to do a demo, and just very simply show you how all of the jobs are right here. You can select a job to apply to. And Peter had mentioned earlier that there are several different ways to manage the application process. We can do it inside a candidate gateway, in which case that tick box, that click would have led us straight into candidate gateway, or we can keep it within the telemetry system until we push the data into candidate gateway. And all of this is responsive, number one, and number two, it does not require any registration process. So I'll go through real quickly into the process, and you'll recognize some of this if you're familiar with with the process, right? So we can capture all of the disability information. We can capture all of the EEO information, right? And we can capture any of the veterans information, etc. This is all within a responsive design. As we mentioned earlier, we can capture your resume, your social profile. We can capture a resume from your desktop. We can capture a resume from a hosted site like a Google Docs, etc. So the applicant experience is just that simple, right? So we've uploaded the resume, we've parsed the resume, we've answered all the questions, and we've pushed it in, and it's that quick to complete. All right, and that data, incidentally, was written now into PeopleSoft without any need to register. All right, that's the beauty of the full telemetry apply solution. Now I want to end with our search capability. So I've pulled up just a quick search of all past applicants so that you could see that by running one quick search of everybody who's applied for a job in the past, and our demo system is hooked up to PeopleSoft, quite obviously you can see here, we're able to capture everyone who's applied for jobs in the past, and we can track, we can capture within that profile all of their past application process. So as you can see, here's a profile of somebody who applied for a job in the past, maybe a good target for a future role, but I'm kind of interested to know what their applicant history was inside of PeopleSoft without having to go log into PeopleSoft and find out. So we've got the data right here that they applied to a voice over IP engineer role, and that their current status or disposition is applied. They haven't moved forward in that process. Now, if I had filtered, I could have said, just show me people who got to an interview stage, and then that might help me to begin to identify past applicants who were pretty good, but just didn't get to the final stage. And so you can see kind of the key benefits of that. to round this out, I'm just going to do a really quick new search for you, just to show you how really easy it is for us to search an entire database. And our clients are, so I'm just type in software engineer, the title comes up there. I can type in keywords. This is semantic. Of course, for those of you who are a little bit older like me and consider yourself a Boolean jockey, you can always do a Boolean search as well. But it's very quick and easy to run a quick search, not only of the data that you already own, like your past applicants and anybody who came in and joined your talent network, all of that, but also all these external sites. And I only have a few listed here, but I could have literally dozens here if I had licenses for them all. It's a really quick one-stop shop to look for all of my past applicants, so data that I already own, and in this case, now I've brought back about 51,000 people from Beyond and about 13,500 from Career Builder, and I've got some governors here just so I don't take too much data into the system, but you get the idea. And then we've got the CRM capability to do the following actions on either an individual or on a mass up to 5,000 people. We can go ahead and do a quick email, right? So I think Peter Clare was telling us about how critical this is for a number of our clients, just to be able to send out a really simple email. And what I'm about to show you can be all automated. It can be tied to a specific role. All of these jobs came out of PeopleSoft, and so all I have to do is go select the job I'm looking for, and now the data is going to merge together in one email to either an individual or up to 5,000 people at a time, all sending them a personalized email inviting them to click on an apply URL that came out of PeopleSoft, so that they could then apply directly. The data gets sent into PeopleSoft. Of course, this is not the best time of day or day to send this email, so maybe I want to send it on Tuesday at 3:30 in the morning. I can go ahead and schedule that here, but it's a really simple way to reach out and proactively capture and target and market to passive candidates, right? So a whole lot of things we didn't talk about because we just don't have time, but hopefully I whet your appetite to give me a call for a real deep dive demo at some other time.
Great. Thank you very much, Stephen. I really appreciate it. And real quickly, we've got about 6 minutes left. What I'd like to do is just have Peter jump in and very quickly talk about our customer implementation support infrastructure, and then we'll go right into wrap-up.
I'll be 30 seconds or less. So we talked about a lot of stuff today. One of the things that Ian mentioned was this is a platform that can do an awful lot of things, and we provide you with the ability to buy pieces of it. We've also modeled our services organization around really being able to expand or restrict the level of relationship that's required to deliver those services. So, our basic services provide you with the full support for making sure that the technology is working and implemented properly, and we scale all the way up into strategic partnership where we're collaboratively working on email campaigns to fill specific pipelines, as an example, or deeply working with you to make sure that you have the most search engine optimized site in the world. Key for us is we have the people and resources available to expand with you and help you achieve your recruiting results on an ongoing basis. So thank you.
Great. Thanks so much. All right. I know that was a lot of information to digest in an hour, so I do appreciate everybody's attention. I'd just like to mention a few final points before we wrap it up. Number one, we're sincerely committed to our partnership with Oracle, and we attend all of the large Oracle HCM-related events, as you can see here. If any of you happen to be at HCM World in Chicago in a couple of weeks, please stop by our booth. And also, if you can, stop by our reception on the evening of the 6th. We'd love to see you there. Also, we're a platinum-level sponsor at OHUG this year in New Orleans, so perhaps we'll see some of you there also. And finally, we're very proud that we received Brandon Hall's Gold Award for Recruitment Marketing in 2015. But the award is really a testament to PeopleSoft also, because most of the implementations that Brandon Hall interviewed and studied while they were researching us against our competitors were in fact PeopleSoft clients. So when I send this out, please check that out when you get a chance. Just follow up by saying I want to thank everybody again. Have a great day. And as we mentioned, if anybody wants to get in and see a deeper dive demonstration that's more specific, and focused to their needs would love to hear from you. And with that, I'll end the call. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.